So good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Gallery of Modern Art. It's fantastic to see such a good turnout on such a miserable night, so thank you for coming. My name's Russell Storer, and I'm the Head of Asian and Pacific Art here at the Gallery. And first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather this evening, and to pay my respects to elders past and present. It gives me enormous pleasure to introduce to you Tehching Hsieh. Tehching is an artist who has for decades been a legendary figure in performance art circles for his extraordinary and highly influential durational performance works of the late 1970s and early 1980s. However, it's only in the past few years that Tehching has received wider recognition with the publication of a major monograph called Out of Now with Adrian Heathfield, and exhibitions at the Museum of Modern Art and the Guggenheim Museum in New York and the Ullin Centre in Beijing, as well as featuring the Liverpool, Guangzhou and Sao Paulo biennials. This is the first time that Tehching has been to Australia for an exhibition of his time clock piece at Carriageworks in Sydney, which opened this week. And we thank Nina Mile and Lisa Havilah at Carriageworks, as well as the curator and scholar Lee Wang Choi, for their collaboration with the gallery to bring Tehching and his wife Chin Chin to Brisbane. Beginning in the late 1970s, Tehching Hsieh conducted 5 one-year performances and one 13-year project in New York that challenged the limits of performance art. At the time of his one-year performances, he was living as an illegal immigrant, having jumped ship from Taiwan in 1974. And this experience of limited freedom had an important bearing on the nature of the works that he undertook. In each case, the work set up a rigid framework of rules for living over a strictly delineated period of time that touch on deep questions of how we exist in the world, how we relate to others, how we spend or waste our time, and how art and life can intersect. Tehching will first talk through the different works in his oeuvre, and then we'll open up for a conversation and questions from the audience. Please welcome me. Please welcome me. You can if you like. Please join me in welcoming Tehching Hsieh.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. It's a great honor to be at the to present my work at the GOMA and in Brisbane. And first, I want to thank you, the Russell Storer, and to bring me here, and also thank you for Michaela and Mia and Duke and Duke. I don't know how to pronounce Duda. Yeah, thank you for taking care of my presentation. Okay, now I introduce my work. Yeah. My life work have 5 one-year performs and 1 piece 13-year plan. And there are 18 1 years of the work in total, and I used the real time from 1978 to 1999. And time passed, only document left are traces. They are the tip of the iceberg. They show some part of the work. Most part of the performance remain invisible. For my work, documents are secondary, but without them, I will not be able to talk my work here. Okay. First, I want to start from my proposal of my future retrospective. Okay. This is the one space. It's a 12.8 by 12.8 meter. And the document of the 1 year performance will be, make a toilet. So I use can, to do that. So this is all scratch mark. And every 3 weeks, so this is 1 3 week, I have 1 opening. So I have to be, every day I have to be calculated right. So then 3 weeks, and have a 19 opening until last day. And I already know that's the last day. So that means my mind, it's not, I try not to drink water. So so I don't have to be pee in the public, with in front of everybody. So means in my mind I still know what I'm doing, Well, this is after 30 years, the first time install this piece in public. That's at MoMA in 2009. That's 30 years. So this install the piece in MoMA, the picture I take. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first piece. Whole 365 picture will install in the wall by one line, and center will be KHP installed in one room in center. So people take a walk here, and to pass first the piece installed in here, and then take a walk by this, and let me see, just a second. So it's 193 days. Then go to next piece. I introduce next piece. Next piece called title is 1 year performed, 1980 to 1981. The informal name called the time clock piece. Okay, I do the statement. April 1980. Statement. I, Sam Hsieh, plan to do a 1 year performance piece. I sure punch a time clock in my studio every hour on the hour for 1 year. I sure immediately leave my time clock room each time after I punch the time clock. The performance should begin on April 11, 1980 at 7 p.m. and continue until April 11, 1981 at 6 p.m. in the same studio. Actually, the space is a cage piece. So after finish that piece, the space I used for time clock piece. And this is the one explanation about how I make this piece without cheating. So I will have a winning to sign in first day, 366 time car, and I cannot, if I mistake, I cannot change it. Also, the time clock was sealed in the wall, so will not move time clock or to change it to clock in time, make a difference. So it had to be all, to witness it. Also, I have 16 movie camera to shot each frame or each punch, and I cut my hair ball so keep natural, hair grow in the time process. So this is a one-piece explanation for that. And this is the witness to prove I really do in first day. He signed 366 time car, and this is another piece of paper in the same witness, to prove I really, not edit the frame. Also, the time card all is, is all is like time card I punch every day. So, and this is the consequence of the 8,760 time punch. I become have a mega three kind difference: sleeping or late or early. So I have a 94 time sleep, missed the punch. 29 times is late, 10 times early. Early is more like a 59. I go there to punch, but I don't open my eyes clear, then I punch, so it's not on time. And actually, you can see, December is the worst month I have, 22. But then I told myself, I sure to be soon will be finished, so I had to be, make a better, punch. So actually have help. So I make a better record after December. And this is a total like 1.52% I missed punch for all record. Yeah. So this image is because in the statement I say I go in time column at the immediate, when I finish punch at immediate leave time column. The reason is because I don't want people go work, they don't sleep in time in a working space, they have to go home. So I make this room only come to punch, then I have to leave, to stay in another room or sleep in another room. I don't try to sleep in this room. That's why I make statement say after punch I have to immediately leave time column room. So this is a punch, and then this is a push the airboard to have needle to the ceiling have a 16 movie camera, so it will shut one frame. And this is the every day, 24 hour the punch, the time card. Yeah. Well, this is just Guggenheim Museum. Actually, it's 29 year first time in public. And this piece is the same month with the MoMA cage piece in that, and this piece in Guggenheim in same January. Yeah. So I had to stay in here. Here I have foot mark. So then I, push this and punch it. Okay, now we jump to third piece, 1 year perform. So here I'm, let me see. Here 168 day. Go to outdoor piece. Okay, this frame actually take 6 minutes 4 seconds, not include the title text in the front. And so it's 1 year, the time pressure to 6 minutes 4 seconds. So to me, this 18 1 year, the space to people take a walk to, so it's about hour and, or maybe a little bit more. So that way is assumption is like my whole life work, compressor to 22 year compressor to include art time and lifetime all together and take a walk, 1 hour more, so compressor 22 year in that way to people take a walk and to pass it and to experience of time. Okay, so now I go to the fourth piece. First piece, 1 year perform. Okay. Okay, September 26, 1981. Statement. I, Tehching Hsieh, plan to do a 1 year performance piece. I should stay outdoors for 1 year, never go inside. I should not go into a building, subway, train, car, airplane, ship, cab, tent. I should have a sleeping bag. The performance should begin on September 26, 1981 at 2 p.m. and continue until September 26, 1982 at 2 p.m. And that's the piece I do in New York City. So this the document, I make every day, daily map. So most time I spend in the downtown below 14th Street in Manhattan. So, I will write down like what's weather, temperature, and where I sleep, what time I wake up, where I sleep, or what time I eat dinner, or I go to bathroom, and then how much money I spend. This is like $8.25 for food. So that's basically and then how big circle I walk for the area. That's where I make this way document for the piece. Actually, this year is the coldest year in the century in 1981, 82. And last year winter is breaking the new record just below 1 degree. Yeah. So this is 4 season. I always use tripod to document. And also to me, my work, I try not document to bother for my perform. So I don't try to have somebody, means I try to do document by myself, But of course I make some film. That time I only call him and come, and we shot like 30 minute long. Well, the whole movie I cut and make 30 minutes. But I only call sometime, then the filmmaker come to document. These are homeless people. Some here and some sleeping here. Yeah. And this is a meat market in 14th Street. In that time, they have a place you can build fire in street. It's a police will not bother for that. Actually, this is near World Trade Center, near Hudson River. It's Battery Park area. So this is the coldest year. It's under Brooklyn Bridge, or a lot of ice. And this image, you can see here, have one pigeon. And I set up tripod, and I go to set up time and then come back, and the pigeon, they don't move. So that means I'm not like human being, so it's more like an animal. So no bother to pigeon, you know. Don't feel scared when I come back. And this is the last day. I get into my studio in Tribeca. So many people come in last day. Okay, I'm showing to. I only add only 6 minutes in here, so not take too long.
I can stay here. I don't want to go. I'm scared. You're gonna have to go inside. Make it easy on yourself. I don't want to fight. You don't want to. I told him I do it. Come on. No. You don't want to. You have to go in. You have to go in. No, I don't want to go.
Okay. First of all, the judge excused you for today. You don't have to come into court.
Yes, okay, I don't need to go.
You don't have to go indoors, no.
Yes.
And for the next time,
Yes.
you don't have to come indoors either. He
Yes.
agreed. He accepted that you're a serious artist and that this is your piece that you're doing,
Yes.
and he understands that you can't come into court
Yes.
consistent with the integrity of your art. I explained to both the judge and to the DA that this was a self-defense because the man who attacked you had a metal pipe or a stick or whatever. He hit you twice and so on. The district attorney is, between now and the next time the case is on, is going to investigate by talking to the complainant, to the man who brought the charge against you, to see whether he admits that he hit you first. If he admits that he hit you first, they're going to dismiss the charges against you. They're going to dismiss your case. If he doesn't admit that to the DA, then we'll see what happens next time.
Okay, now we go to fourth piece. Art Life 1 year performs. 1983, 84. Actually, you see, before I use 1 year perform, but here is become art life because that's the we have a 2 artist collaboration. And Linda, her title, she more is Art Life, and it's 1 year performance. So we both collaboration. So we put all this together. Okay, July 4, 1983. Actually, July 4 is American Independence Day, so we pick up this day. Statement: with Linda Montana and Tehching Hsieh plan to do a 1 year performance. We will stay together for 1 year and never be alone. We will be in the same room at the same time when we are inside. We will be tied together at waist with the free rope. We will never touch each other during the piece. The performance will begin on July 4, 1983 at 6 p.m. and continue until July 4, 1984 at 6 p.m. with both signed. And that's the studio, is the same studio when I do the time clock and catch piece. And well, actually here I don't show we have witness for this piece too. So we have a 367, because this year will have a 1 year longer, so, we make document, and each day we have our, take one picture also, we do some other, I will show that. This is the first day, yeah, so. We make table like a back to back, so if you're comfortable, you have a privacy, a little bit. And actually, Linda, she's more, spiritual person. She like to do meditation, so I just, waiting for her. That's all I can do. And this friend, the wedding, so we joined the wedding. Yeah, so. Well, this is like Ule said, this is a historical picture. Marina Ule, we meet first time in 1983, November 10. So we take picture together with the Marina and Ule. Yeah. And actually, I bring Linda back to the last piece, outdoor piece. The place I built fire, so the back is Manhattan Bridge. Yeah. Also, I do construction because this piece, compare the last two pieces, this piece is good to make it more like a life, kind of daily life. So when we do job, all I do construction, so you pay one person for two person, we share half, Linda just waiting for me, and this is Linda. She taught in the Philadelphia Tyler School, and so we have to wake up morning 4 o'clock to take train to go to Philadelphia. So this is the student, Linda's student. Yeah. Also, Linda, she's a karate. She like to do karate. She's a green belt, karate. So I just follow along her. And this is the last day. We take out a rope. That's all, finish the piece. Yeah. And we also have a document for conversation. Anytime we conversation, we will have to record, but we see it. We don't get listen. So that's all here. This is the day, February 27th, in that day, and I think 85 minutes talking in that day. Yeah. Okay, then after fourth piece, you see here the lifetime becomes 361 days. Then I do the last 1 year perform, because that time, you see, I suppose, I don't make this public, but personally, I try not make a lifetime gap more than 1 year, because I want to be whole life work become one, so I want to be art time longer than lifetime, between the gap. But actually, 361 days, I don't have idea. Normal, I have idea in the piece before. Like I said, I didn't catch 1 year. That time, I do thinking everything. Also, I thinking about future, what I would do for next piece. So I continue have 3-4 piece. After this, I become no have idea. So then I make this piece. 1 year perform, 85, 86, yeah, just a second. So July 1st, 1985, statement. Tehching Hsieh plan to do a 1 year performance. I no do art, no talk art, no see art, no read art, no go to art gallery and art museum for 1 year. I just go in life. The performance begin on July 1st, 1985, and continue until July 1st, 1986. In New York. So this piece document is only these two documents, poster and statement. Okay. So, wait a minute, okay. Yeah. So actually, fifth piece, 1 year performance, the title is informal called No Art. So after No Art, I feel I cannot to make this kind of art form 1 year performance anymore, because if don't do art, then I cannot go back to do the way I do art. So the way I become in this is my last project, the 13-year plan. So that's 182 days, and then I jump to this. So this piece, you see, no art. This piece only have stem and post in this whole 1 year space document. Before here. It's all four. Whole document will be all, like time clock will be, all the frame straight that is showing scenic Carriageworks. So all document this way. They are 1 day by day whole line, and this is outdoor 4 season. Map half year in this side, half year in this side, and 4 season in 4 wall. In art life, exemption is have a lobe, also the 360 the document of life in the piece also have a text, all in this installed in this. Okay. No work. Just a second. I do one more time. Okay, the statement of the last piece. Yeah, December 31st, 1986. Statement. I, Tehching Hsieh, have a 13 years plan. I will make up during this time. I will not show it public. This plan will begin on my 36th birthday, December 31st, 1986. Continue until my 49th birthday, December 31st, 1999. And Earth means it's not only in New York, anywhere I go. Yeah. So this is the poster. And actually, the end. So all 13 year, you see all 13 year, 1 year space in. So this is will be in last space, 1 year space. Will be put this poster there, and that's all I do. I say I keep myself alive. I passed the December 31st, 1999. So all what I do in this 13 year, I just make it public in 2000 January 1st, 2000 for that. And of course, in this time, actually in 1991, I do a piece called Despair. I try because I know I have skill to do construction, so I drive my, I drive my pickup truck and I put all my construction tool in about $2,500, and I left New York, my daughter in Brooklyn. Actually, my brother, my young brother, visit in New York, so I just don't let him know. So I just, I just leave my studio and then drive car to go to West Coast in Seattle, and I try to go to Alaska, but I don't make that because I only have a year in Seattle, and I'm going to new area to survival without to know anybody. So that's the piece I do, but I don't finish, so I don't count. Only the end I just make this statements, means I just survival, and that's all I done. So to me, you see here. You see Noah, and with last 13 years, it's almost empty. Except it's just have a this kind of year right down. That's it. But to me, I would say I spent the reason I have wasted space just only for little document, but I still use the same quantity of a year space because. Doesn't matter to me. The concept of philosophy is to me doesn't matter life. It is working hard or being lazy or being very creative or not. Life is consumer time until die. So to me, my work is not express about how to passing time. It's just only passing time. So it doesn't matter. I have idea to create something new or I don't. Passing time. That's all I bring. So what I like to say is life is life sentence. Life is passing time. Life is a free thinking. So after this finished 13-year plan, in January 1st, 2000, I make a public announcement and say I don't do art anymore after 2000. So I just doing live, and just like the Sunibi say, life is changing. That's all I do. But one thing I want to say is it's nothing to do with about my art time, because today I'm here. Conversation is all about my art time. Conversation is not about lifetime things. But only one person I want to mention is my mother, because she's one person to influence me in dedicate all the sacrifice. So that's important, because she is the one. She is a Christian, and when I was a child, go to church. But actually, I don't like church much, so I don't really go to church anymore. But my mother always told me, when in Taiwan she called me, say like, you have to believe God, without God help you cannot to make your work, continue strong. So, but her finger point to me, and I lay down that way to conversation with him. It's more like this, like. Told me what believe, but I push it. She just passed away her February, and she's 98 years old. Yeah, so I push her. Her give me much love. Yeah, so. Okay, I all finished my conversation. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tehching.
Well, thank you. Awesome.
There are so many questions one can ask about your work, so I'm sure people here would love to ask. So what I thought I could do is just maybe talk about a few key things that I think are really interesting about your work that might get things going. I guess my first question really is, what motivated you in the first place to make work like that? Had you, coming from Taiwan, I know you started as a painter.
Yes.
And you did one performance work when you got out of the army, which was jumping from a height and landing on the ground. And that was really your first performance piece, yeah?
Yeah. And you want to ask me?
Yeah, so I was wondering, in a place like Taiwan at that time, had you knew about performance art, or once you got to New York, that's really what you...
I don't have audience for that piece. A few audience, but that kind I don't call audience. It's just, I don't have concept what event means. But I document super it, because that time I do painting. Actually, I'm very strong, I'm good for do painting. But 4 years, then I don't feel, later I become empty, for what I can use 2-dimensional, painting to do my work. So I get super 8 camera, but I just don't know what to do. It's, to me, it's more like the way, like say goodbye to get not to paint anymore. So first I can jump second floor window in concrete floor, and I broke my my ankle. Yeah. So that's I don't know much about what's performed or happening. But actually in that time, because Taiwan is a very conservative situation, so art is nothing have afraid, but I hear that because I don't finish high school, that's all my education, don't finish high school. So I hear have some kind of my age, the friend there in college say, they have some kind of call happening or conceptual art, but that's only that words, that's it, no anymore. So I'm just more experiment, for startup. But I not only do that piece, I do like I use the Kodak paper, like this size, like a newspaper, little bit small size newspaper size. I essentially use Super 8 camera, in second floor. It's the same place I jumped for my, for the piece. I document. I just lay out 100, like 10 one line, 10 one time. But I put water, so keep wind no blow. So I put, but because the photo paper in dark room you cannot spoil it, but in the sunshine it will dark. So I lay down each by each, all become later. The color will change. Until the end, I come back to front to turn upside down. So become white and then dark. So that way I do process and then I document. So to me, it's like my work in definition, to understanding art, I learn in painting and then like an old history, what art in Saisang, Van Gogh, that kind. To learn until I don't know what art, then I just by my instinct, to do experiment. So that way until I come to New York, have 4 years, because I'm illegal to come in, because in Taiwan you don't allow you to get out of the country. So I just know it's the illegal, like I say, I become Marine Sherman to do job in the oil tank. And the oil tank is a new tank in Japan, make new. And then I fly from Taiwan to there, then take this oil tank to go to Iran. And then I know they want to come to America, but I don't know where. Until later time I know it will be near Philadelphia, some called the Delaware River. So I smack in there. I just run away. So that become, I success to be landing, and I feel when I pay the taxi driver $150 from Philadelphia to New York. And that time, because you come to new land, and of course different compared to Columbus to come to America. I feel like this kind is like UFO, in the spaceship. Even the taxi driver drive is touch the land, the car. But I feel I never see this kind of landscape. In Taiwan, I never go out country. So you see that kind of drive, you feel in highway. In Taiwan, you don't have highway. You feel like you are in another plane, and that kind of drive. And it's very incredible. And to come to New York City, in the New Jersey side, the view, whole big, it's incredible. So I get in there 4 years. I don't know, life so difficult for illegal. And then I become all just frustrated, just thinking, just like I thinking what to do creative. I don't have, until one day I singing process. Then I find, why not make a singing process and piece, long duration become piece art, right? So I set up 1 year, because 1 year is Earth around the sun. 1 year, and it's very good to talking about life, circle things, So then I make how to make a clear piece. So I think cage is good to can see clear, and then make it no reading, no talking, no writing. No, that's third piece. If people come, only 19 times to public, but no coming, that's 300. Someday, still is the same quality. So that's why I document after that way. After 30 years in MoMA, I do presentation like this way. Have audience ask me 30 years after, do you still have something you want to change for your STEM concept? And take a 3 seconds to think in what. Then I say, toilet, I needed to change it. If without you have toilet, make a piece more clean and more clear, and that will much help. That some other way I feel whole piece document the way I still feel it's the same thing, So that's my first experience with light So my works come from my life experience. But of course, I don't want to call my work is autobiography. It's more universal communication. I use my body as tool, and time is content. And of course, I just introduced my 18-1-year space, this perspective, that kind of layout. Because I know even people take work to see that still it's not mean it's a space. In that concept, you already see something. Even you see that it's still limited. But at least give me concept clear about quantity. 1 year is the same. Doesn't matter you're the king or you're homeless people. The life 1 year is the same quantity. Maybe life quality is different. But because of my life, I'm more in bottom line. But I'm not trying to be in political way to express about bottom line life. How suffer difficult in endurance. My work is talking about art, time, and being. So it doesn't matter I'm in bottom line or I'm in top. I understand it the way life. Just
so is it a way of
life sentence, life life swing. Because I experience in life struggle. So maybe my work is, but I don't want to be use suffer influences or the endurance, because even my work is long period of time. To do compare me, I'm quite endurance, but I don't emphasis because my concept, I don't want to do more than 1 year. Of course, except the last piece, that's different. But I'm saying 1 year is a very good rhythm for talking about art and life. So, yeah.
So it was a way of trying to create something, in a sense, universal. I mean, you're in a new place.
Right.
You couldn't really speak the language.
Right.
You couldn't participate in society in a broader way.
Right.
So was it a way to try and connect?
Yeah, I would say the
think?
work, I have a way to explain what point of view of my work. But I will allow people with their own life experience to point. Like I say, if they do this, how this, sing in different angle. Then I will leave open. Look like I do is because basically time. I don't do more fit in what kind of, even I still have a few 角度是怎么 perspective of several angle. But another way, still quite big angle for people can do. Some people maybe say, "Oh, I will do meditation in the peace and work is about spirit heighten, heighten of life." But I don't. I just passing time. I'm not trying to say what way is better live, or my work is no religion or political way to explain. I'd rather to be philosophical way to say basically, yeah.
So in a way, it was kind of formalizing the time you were spending, like giving it a structure somehow.
Right.
Yeah. And the documentation is very much a part of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think what's really interesting about the documentation is how formal and aesthetic it is. I mean, it's very constructed. It's very, the composition is very, powerful actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the way you dress in this. I mean, I think the other thing with the time clock piece is the way it kind of suggests a labour. I mean, obviously clocking in, clocking out is about working.
Yeah. Well, I know that people like to use because everybody have a experience with time, Of course, everybody does different way. But I don't try to be angle. I know people more thinking interesting about industrial work, right?
And also
but
what you're wearing too.
Yeah, because it's 9 to 5 or maybe longer hour to work in. But if you clear to see my work, it's 24 hours, right? And 24 hours, that is, I must include 9 to 5, right? But 24 hours is already become, you have, it's make peace become, like I say, I use philosophy, sexy shift, moon to stone. Of course, that is a myth, right? But I really do is peace for just 1 year. So that way, to interpret of, in philosophical way of that human do sensing over and over, and that kind.
And with the cage piece, you said that it was open for 19 days out of the whole year, so people could come and see the performance, on those specific days.
Right.
But you didn't interact with them at all, so
I
there was
don't
no
try to
connection.
be eye contact either, because even have friend coming, but I don't want to be, kind of, because where audience is a secondary to me. But of course, without audience, my work cannot exist. So in some way, I still difficult, because I do work, but I don't really public document. Only one piece document is outdoor piece. In that time, because I one curator wanted, that's time I public. Another way I all work is like a 20-some year. Like a MoMA, Guggenheim, they always 29 or 30 years to public. You know what I mean? So it's to me, actually that's it's good, because my work is not about document. So in a way now, to back to talking will be clear. I don't, because of my life in financial, I don't have any grant when I do I'm illegal to live. So I'm saying I don't have money. To put document, everything is expensive. That money I already can do it one piece. So I don't. My reality is just only just when I was young, I do that work, but I don't means. But of course I believe means respond for outside, but I do it. I already pressure, already got pressure. It's not means that you work, people don't recognize or something. You know what I mean? But it is, I feel confident, strong. What I do. Yeah.
So when you see your work in the Guggenheim or in exhibitions like the one in Sydney, and now this conceptual exhibition, this retrospective, how do you see your work, the performances now, like looking back? Are you sort of representing them and finding a new audience in a way that never experienced them in the original form? How do you see them now? What sort of place do you have them in your life?
I don't quite.
I guess it's
means that I would say that now, because it's more about how people want to show my. You see, I just say you're the irony in a way. It's like 2000. Which year? 2009. Or 2009, right? Is it? It's 2009. Okay, 2009. You see, January, MoMA. In Guggenheim is January. Yeah. Everything happened in that time. I look at router. You get router. I have a MoMA in Guggenheim. That's no means they are together. They are just separate. Nothing to do with that. MoMA. MoMA first or the Guggenheim first? MoMA first, and then maybe 10 days or something. Then Guggenheim, and then book published in January, the hour of now, and also I get a award, $50,000. It's not by prize, it's by someone, called U.S. artist. So that means actually the award is 2008, but the day the check is given in the January. So that January I have how many? 4 times of book and 2 show, and then the grant. So all in the same time. So that's do like a louder I get it,
lottery.
So in 1 month, yeah. That's.
But has the importance of them changed, or what the meaning of the performances changed for you, looking back over them, or seeing them as museum pieces now? I mean, I guess it's a big problem for performance art in general, is how it can be represented, or even if someone else tried to perform your work.
I don't change it.
Would it change the meaning of the work? I mean, does it change the meaning of the work now to see them as shown in galleries or museums?
Well, I have gallery, Shinkery gallery, right? Because if I don't have this probably I don't have gallery work or choose me, right? So that happen is it's also. But to me, I become this is the later to get it responsibility for artwork, right? So I become more calm, more like human communication can do something, then just make up. But of course I don't finish it. I just show my 18 one-year space. That is my last some idea, like my last two pieces. Noah also in your plan. People hard to know. I don't have, almost no dark how to communication, right? So this become bring all the time the concept more clearly. I use the 18 one-year space, and this is what, of course, it's not easy to get it support to make this happen. But it is, I bring this proposal in public, and maybe possible, have some place there would like to make this happen. So that, become, I just talk concept. That's good.
Is there any questions from the audience? Kim?
I'm quite interested in the timeline that you're talking about in relationship to the networks that you were immersed in New York. It's kind of interesting as the performance pieces come to 1983 and 1984. At that time, there was the birth of the trans avant-garde. Painting became, the most popular medium, and by late '83, coming into '84, performance was almost despised internationally. Along with conceptual art, it's not seen as interesting. So I found it really interesting that your next performance after the rope piece was no art, nothing to do with art. And I was wondering if you had what your awareness was in New York for the art world turned its back on performance art. And it's kind of interesting, your whole 13-year frozen sort of time performance, in that you emerge again when the sort of rebirth or the interest again in performance finally comes back again. But I guess it's the networks that I was wondering how.
Can you explain to me a little bit?
就说他说那个80年代中期哈，就是83、84年之后哈，在纽约整个那个艺术景象，他们都艺术界都不太看重那个 performance art 跟 conceptual art， 都几乎没有了，然后比较看重 painting。好，然后呢，那你就是 rope piece 之后，你就做 no art。他觉得这个里面有一种，是不是有一种相关？就说你的后来的倾向没有做艺术哈，包括13年，跟那个当时艺术界比较不看重行为艺术跟，包括后来13年作品，但是你后来哈得到的重视跟那个就说 performance art 的重新又被看重，又有一种相关性。他觉得这两者之间有关系。就你的选择跟艺术界对 performance art 的看待。
Yeah, is it well, maybe you find some kind of, because you see, when I do my work, I know means what performs art to me. In the beginning, I do one, so even later time that I uni in New York, but of course art influenced me. It's general. It's not like a special what kind of performance art or the painting or sculpture, right? But it's just personal. I do my work, can be called performance art, right? But of course, my work is more personal. It's no rule. Say what outside situation that make me change. I feel I'm more personal. The way to what my road to go. But of course, if I say my work is a human communication, I still means must be have some kind of nature to make like I say I take so long and then become the time like I say 2009 I become press respond and like I say MoMA how about one series performs art continue I'm the not first performs art to install the piece in that there are series perform continue like my piece finish then have second another perform art then continue until Marina Brownwich the perspective, right? So that's it's many I think artists perform art become more get attention to do that, but that is no notion I can know is my work will be that because I still do what I had to do and then the time just much in that time. But it's something I want to say. Did you have something more question?
基本上就是这样，他就是问，就说你跟外界之间的一个互动，你做决定，你决定不再做艺术，是不是跟外界对于 performance art 的不看重之间有没有什么关联？就这样，
Well, I would say it's more my personal. I just cannot means I just no idea, and then I just go my way. So that part is it's critical to deal with. I don't much can say. Yeah.
Did you made connections though with other performance artists at the time, like the photo with Marina Abramovich, for example, and even with Linda, like tying yourself to another performance artist for a year. So you were part of did you find yourself part of an artistic community?
You see, I don't know who work,
Right.
I just feel, I know sometimes it's a problem because if somebody come to, and then after you learn quickly to know. I have trouble. I know in our, if when you get in response, then somebody comes, they are very well known. But then I don't, I'm say poorly. That's imbalance, to me. Of course, means this thing I should know, means I should have education to know what's wrong. But this part, my reality is so bad. Also, I'm not good to learn that. Of course, deep in New York, something I influenced from contemporary art, that's no question. But just like even there, but I still don't learn that way. I still have to find my own answer. So to me, it's just you can see the way I'm talking already have this kind I cannot explain so
sure.
well. Yeah. So, sorry. Yeah.
Do you have another question? Yep.
It strikes me, thanks so much for that. It strikes me that especially the early works, the one-year works, are very much about making yourself vulnerable.
Vulnerable, what do you mean?
就说最脆弱的、可被伤害的，让你早前的作品让你自己显得很脆弱，很容易被伤。
Okay. And
But it takes a lot of strength it's actually quite a brave act to make yourself that vulnerable. Was that the reasoning behind the work, or is that just the way that it happened? That sense of making yourself, you relied on your friends or other people to assist you, being open to that, was that important to the work?
就说他觉得你早前的作品让自己变成脆弱的这是很勇敢的一件事情，而且需要很多力量才能够做到这样。但是呢，就说你很多都是依靠别人，比如说依靠你朋友来给你送诗，这个是就说让你自己 vulnerable 这个是不是作品的其中的一个原因？就说让你自己对这种状态做一个敞开是不是你作品背后的原因之一？是不是重要的一个原因？要让你处于一个脆弱的状态。
No, I think you can find some part I'm strong, right? But of course, the art is 渺小，怎么讲？渺小。渺小 small. Yeah, was small, but of course, art is like small, and then you can, make a monumental, but in the community quality. And of course, I have strong will to do it, but also my reality is very, very, vulnerable. Yeah, it means it's because illegal. How can be? You want to do that, and it's get, and also I will respond me late, later. But to me, of course, I must have some kind of belief. It means I do work. I'm sure for many artists, they will feel something, their work, no outside response. But of course, to me, I make it stay. Means I believe what I do without outside much support, right? I can do that because I already know that will be, I already get pressure for what I do. Without to be outside, had to be answer me, did I, do work power enough, or I don't have to be this kind much, because I have to be, to already know what, I really get, like I say, first 1 year perform, I already get clearly what's strong. But of course, I worry about, can I still, it's like I already catch big fish, and so heavy, how I can continue to do good work. Of course, I only 4, 5, 6, that's already, so then I quickly, cut out, means that I already know. That way, it's making me have a new access. That's why I don't do art anymore. It's because that way to give me have a new way to survive about freedom and about possibility to have some kind of, means that part is most, I will say most serious, they will same problem. They don't worry about success. They're more worried about they cannot continue create something. So to me, the question is, even I can stay bottom line illegal to already survival, because that's practice. My work is rather practice about to test I really can make the quality. It's not like just, of course, people want to say, oh, this part is religion. But to me, I don't like use that way to make my work simple answer, or because the religion or Buddhas or Zen or something. Because I don't, I'm more ironing way to deep, right? So, but to me, of course, I must be limited. I only 6 pieces I done. So I know if I say in my age, say I don't do art anymore, people will singing, maybe in philosophical way, maybe in art I meant, but in philosophy, of course, I still have thinking. I still, maybe something I can grow. Of course, this part I still can try to, to do thinking and do something, can make. Another way, I feel I don't order too much from outside or something, So freedom is very important for me. And of course, if one person illegal to come to America and do this, I already so lucky to make this work and survival. And of course I push it, have that. Yeah. I know I don't answer you well, but at least I just make some noise.
I did read somewhere that someone said that you used your freedom in America that you found when you went to America to actually constrain your freedom. Yeah. So you were in sort of the land of the free, but you put yourself in a cage, or you tied yourself to somebody else. Or, do you want to say a little bit about that? Just how you think about freedom in terms of what you did with your work.
Well, to me, of course, I'm more like a experience with life. Of course, if you try to use life experience, then you know how to move, to listen, to learn. Of course, that's so slow. Better is you already thinking, already less to experience. You already know what to go next step and make a better position to understand life. And of course, to me, I use both ways. Some part I may thinking slowly, so I had to do, something by mistake or by practice. It means that my work, you see, if I say I want to speak, then I cannot to just use philosophy. I had to action. And of course, that's to me, I know I don't have, I become knowledge in my heart. It's already tired. But of course, I still want to try to do. I know somebody can use AIDS. Their life already caused die, but they still can do something. Of course, many ways human, in different ways develop and express, human communication, right? So I'm sure I have my limit, and something maybe I can do better. But of course, some part I may. What's good for, I can create. And to me, like I say, I don't do anymore. It's one freedom give me possible to have some kind of access and to give me, have different way to thinking. So and of course, in some way I'm lazy, means I don't working so hard. Even I'm working hard is irony. Say my work, I say I'm working hard, to punch down, but actually, this kind you can see, I just waiting for next hour. That kind of working hard is just concept means working hard. Of course, 21, but I work. Another way you can see my work. I don't have produce. Machine had to be working hard. Of course, the life may make a life short. Because you do this kind of work, you lose something. But to me, of course, you see, certain years I don't do, lots I can maintain back in several level. But another way, it's just I still have time to pass. I'm 60. How many years? 60. Well, I saw I will get what's called a medical insurance. Yeah, so it's to be song 64, 61. So okay. But of course, I still thinking to means I don't want people asking me that I still can do or something. But because at least philosophers still no left, right? Still existent. I can thinking. So singing, then what life to, to deal. I'm sure everybody, do that way, to passing time. Yeah. Yeah.
So do you have any more questions? Yeah.
Oh.
Just curious. In the cage performance, I noticed that you didn't have any books or any kind of intellectual stimulation. And you mentioned that you treated the bed as kind of your home, and the rest of the cage as like outdoor area you could go to. But given that you didn't practice meditation or anything like that, what were your actual thought processes? How did you occupy yourself mentally for that period?
就是你在那个 KTP 你没有那种，就说有刺激你的，比如说看了可以看可以读那些哈，可以在思想上可以给你一些新的东西的哈。但是呢，而且你又不做 meditation 哈，那他就想要知道你的思考的过程。
Oh, okay. Yeah, I clearly understand you. Because you see, thinking first 3 months I can sing in my past, So I still have what's called a church. What's some kind of, person like my past. Of course, song I become empty. You know what I mean? Means I don't have source to use it to make them push me sing. Because you don't sing in new thing, you sing longer. That's people get crazy. That's kind of. I already have that kind of. When I finish piece, I already know. You see, after finish piece, I even the kids' door already see or take out. But actually, first month I still live inside because I feel weak, so weak. I cannot. Even I can go out, but I know stay there is more safe because I'm so weak. Even the little girl kind of voice to me is like a wolf. You know what I mean? So it's even. So to me, it's so weak for that. But I want to answer you is what's kind of here?
就是说，他想要知道你的头脑思考的过程是怎么样，你在想些什么，让你头脑没有空下。
Okay, yeah, I must be thinking. If I don't thinking, and thinking, of course, we have because normal I've been like that. 30. What's year? 1978. How old? I forgot.
28岁。
Not 20.
28。
I forgot. I'm
What year?
78.
78.
Well, I try to say something. Means that I deep inside, and I must be all my experience life I can use. So at least I make it. We already have 1 day passing, so I cannot sleep there waiting for 1 year to just. I have to make a 1 day rhythm. Even I don't have sunshine, but I can listen from sun to regals 1 day. So to me, thinking is very important. I had to thinking every day. I had to thinking. So thinking is very important to me. I scratch mark, make a day. But it said that, of course, thinking I'm more thinking about like basically a few words I want to say is like reveal or betray, and reveal, betray, criminal, and punishment, and suffer, and then freedom. Means I had to sing in this every day, like a battery recharge, because I had to sing it, repeat again, to know why I live for 1 day. Why I continue for this piece in many ways, and then that's give me to charge, to make a forward for next day. So that way I continue. Of course, even finish that piece or for my future second piece, third piece, until I don't do, to me, it's just mean to passing time and that already give me experiment. I already know how to in balance to survival and to thinking in philosophical way of life. So because as the piece, I had to be maker, not writing, not anything. So thinking is main thing. I had to be use that way to give me the means only for one day. The battery only charge use for one day. Then second day I do something again. That's the way to give me finish that piece. Of course, finish I still can be. I know I have some kind of balance. I did a bit headed or I don't do well, and then I already hold my second piece. So actually, I use my young energy to do my work in that way, and so I can adjust. Of course, outdoor piece is most of my natural healthier because of course it's cold, but at least compare last two pieces, that's already much pressure, give me so come, to live. But of course another problem is violence in New York City. You can get, right away to get it killed, that comes another story. But at least I balance with my, adjust for my body, yeah. So.
Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, we might finish there. Thank you so much, Tehching.
Well, thank you.
Join me
Thank you,
in
Bonnie.
thanking.
Thank you.
Thank you.